Good morning.
Good morning.
Alrighty.
So I'll get this out of the way. Good morning, my friend.
Good.
So this is Off the Tailgate, episode 4. We're still new to this. We're still trying this thing out, and we're figuring it out. So thanks for sticking with us. We are the least thing from professionals. This is the most authentic Vols talk show that you will find. I love all the other ones. They're great. But this is Off the Tailgate.
Off the Tailgate.
Two country boys just telling you what we think. So, anyway.
Well, let's try to get back where we was at.
All right. So, first thing we want to talk about is, I want to talk about that Food City thing that's going on with Thompson Bowling. You know, I was on Twitter, and I kind of like was scrolling through, and honestly, man, I saw it, and you know how you have those Twitter accounts that try to fool everybody? I legitimately thought that's what was going on, and then I saw like that blue check, and I made sure, man, they're gonna do this.
Well,
and I thought it was a joke.
My concern, once you put something up, as we've seen Butch's on the billboard, it took forever to get a crane to get him off. How hard it was to get the Vols put back up on the stadium. When you do this, you know, everything may be fine and dandy right now.
Right.
But what happens if this that you're putting up there goes against the fan base?
Right.
And I'm saying that, remember that Sunday.
Remember that Sunday, right, exactly. Oh, remember that Shiano Sunday, right. So what happens if Food City goes off and says something we don't like, and then we have a fan revolt?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're, the fan base is
right.
You know, we are what we are.
Yes.
Our politics don't come in, and in this, we're around the walls.
Right, exactly. So, no, I get what you're saying. But at the same time, you know, what happens if, and you had talked about it on our first, you know, when we tried this before, you know, what happens if a company, you know, we put Food City on there. What happens if a company goes off and does something that half the fan base doesn't like politically?
Right.
And I don't want to get into politics like with the Vols. I love talking Vols because it's not politics. We can just have some fun. But what happens if, you know, Food City goes out and says something terribly politically, and you know, then we got to sit there and look at Food City on the thing and be embarrassed by it.
Well, I know. I grew up Walt Disney.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up Disney. I mean, Walt and what he did and everything he did. And then I know where it's at now.
Right. Scoot over a little bit so the people on Twitter can see you a little bit. There we go.
And then I know how people feel now.
Yes, and it's different.
And so, that being said, sports has always been Switzerland, and I think it needs to stay Switzerland.
Right. Just kind of.
And I get very upset if I pull into one of my sports talk shows or something I watch on the TV that's sports, and they want to bring something political in it. Because it's Switzerland.
Because it alienates 50% of your
And if they want to
base.
come up, and I just got off the news, I got tired of listening to news. I go to a news report on it. Pull you something up entirely different.
Bingo. Yep.
But, you know, that's why we do our news on Monday. We do our outdoor videos on Wednesday rain. And on Friday we talk sports.
You know, it's and it's okay to separate all those things, and it's okay to have those funds. But yeah, I definitely agree, and I see where you're going at with this Food City thing.
It's not that I care for us being a part of, but you know, hey, I'm telling you what. I mean, I'd really like the possibility, if I was where I could, to say I'd like to be sponsored in our church direction. Let's put a cross and something, and maybe 10 Commandments. Let's put that in there. What happens then?
Right. They start pulling the strings and saying what you can and can't say.
Exactly. Let's get Let's go to sports.
Yeah.
Let's get forward and get off the tailgate and get back in sports.
I hear you. All right. So by the way, you need to stick with us for the end of this video because we're going to do our 2 early season predictions. So that's coming up at the very end. So stick with us for that.
Star.
Oh boy. So we're going to start the stargazing. All right.
I like it.
So the stargazing report is we have got a 5-star, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5-star Jordan Ross.
Right.
He is a edge rusher. I don't know where necessarily he's from. I know that's terrible, but he is an edge rusher. He is the best athlete on that field of high school boys. And he, 5-star means they can come in and contribute as a freshman.
Right.
That's what 5-star usually means, is you're going to see them play. And Jordan Ross being a 5-star edge rusher, buddy, that's a huge deal. Now, before I say anything, especially with these 5-stars, they haven't stepped a foot on the field at Tennessee yet.
But what it does, this was in top 10, was 10.
Mm-hmm.
And when this happened, we went in the 5 or 6 range.
Mm-hmm. We did.
So, and we have 5 more left to
kind of do our thing.
To recruit.
Yeah.
So that gives us an opportunity to be in that top 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And
that's
we
a
could.
big deal. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Now, and Heupel went 11-2 with what, like 19 talent, with the 19th ranked roster in there. And if we have the top 2 or 3,
right.
And Heupel, Heupel's offense beat Bryce Young. They had to go up against all the Stetson Bennett, all those guys.
Right.
And Anthony Richardson beat Bryce Young. That's pretty good record for the 19th thing. And a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people are kind of ranking Tennessee. They're saying we're on the downside. They don't necessarily. They're kind of underplaying us a little bit. And I'm interested to see why. I understand. We'll go through our top things and we'll kind of make predictions, but I've noticed that people are just kind of slow playing Tennessee a little bit, and I'm just interested. That Virginia game is going to tell us a lot, in my opinion.
It is. I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about some things that Heupel said in his last press conference.
Get into that real quick, and then after that we'll get into our season predictions.
Well, the thing that really got me was when someone asked how Nico is, how he's doing.
Yeah.
And he gave an indication he wouldn't care to start him. I mean, the words wise, it was like
that's a big deal. That's a huge deal
that
for
he was up, and that plays a lot in my prediction. We get into that.
Okay.
But seeing that, hey, if something happens to Joe, he couldn't go, or he wasn't able to go, or whatever happens,
mm-hmm.
that he didn't care to make a change.
Now, you've never really not saying you don't like Joe, you haven't trusted Joe ever since that game where he stepped out of bounds. You've never trusted him.
Well, I haven't.
Right, and that's okay to say that.
And I just, I wasn't over watching practice.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that goes from what we've dealt with.
Right.
I mean, the last 10 years, the butches brick by brick, and well, it just goes on.
I just got
I get depressed when I go back.
we ain't getting depressed. We just came off an 11-2 season. We beat Alabama. We're not being depressed no more.
No.
We're pulling ourselves out of that mess.
Exactly. So that being said, and again, I went back and I looked. I said, okay, this guy, he's been in college 3 years. He's had 3 years under his belt. Okay. So I went back and I looked, not at his highlights,
mm-hmm.
but at him playing and now playing in the top in the Big Ten,
Mm-hmm.
and the competition there,
Right.
we couldn't hang on to our job. So that gave me because of what we've been through.
Right.
But he's night and day from then.
Right, he is.
I'm
that
just saying
Clemson game.
why I had my reservation.
Right.
I'm all bored of him now.
Well, that
All on Joe.
you're
right?
all okay. So you're all on board, all on Joe. I'm all right. I'm cool.
My
with
prediction's
that.
gonna tell it.
All right. So why don't we get into our predictions? People have been waiting long enough. Let's go ahead and let's give our way too early season predictors. But it's actually not way too early because the season starts Thursday,
It does.
next Thursday.
It does.
So with that, the first game is going to be Virginia in Nashville. So do we have a time on that? Is that 12 p.m. Eastern? Or is that 12 p.m. Central? We still kind of don't know.
It's 12 o'clock, but I don't know if it's Eastern or Central.
Right. We'll find out. It's the easiest
Or
thing
if
to find out.
It's 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's one.
So by the way, we have one of my Maryville boys playing for Virginia, Noah Vaughn. He plays running back for him. He's a freshman, so he's probably third or fourth string. But still, we've got a Maryville Rebel playing for Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty cool thing. Do you think Virginia has anything for Tennessee?
No, I think it's a W. I'm a big. I mean, first of all, we're playing in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
We don't lose in Nashville.
We don't lose in Nashville, period.
I mean, so that's a W for me.
That's just a W for you.
W for me.
Mm-hmm. It's the same for me. I think Virginia, their coach and Danny White had a nice little spout off, and I thought that was hilarious. Danny White shut that down real quick, didn't he? Mm-hmm. And I like that about Danny White.
Oh, yeah.
I think honestly, the Vols are going to have so much when it comes to offense. I think the Vols rushing game is going to be entirely underrated. I think they're going to rush for more yards, and they averaged 5 to 6 yards a carry last year. I think they're going to average more. If they average a 7 yards a carry, I'm just telling you, it's over, and it's over quick and in a hurry. I would like to see Nico in this game in the fourth quarter. But I'm calling a huge W, and I want to see Nico in the fourth quarter on this one.
He should.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a disappointment because everything I've seen, we're 10 deep offensively.
Mm-hmm.
We could go several different directions. We have, from what I'm hearing, we've got depth.
Yep, absolutely.
And we can defensively and offensively.
Right.
We have never had depth.
So, all right. Second one on the list is Austin Peay. I want to see Nico by the third quarter, and I want to see Nico by the third quarter on this one. That's a huge W. Come on. This is a warm-up game for Florida. Let's just be honest. What do you think about this?
Well, I don't want nobody peeing on my britches like telling me it's raining.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, that's a W.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And the things that I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said earlier on the other, I want to see.
That Mr. Squirrel's asking for it, buddy. Did you be squirrel season? Sorry. Go ahead. I get distracted by squirrel.
You see that movie Up?
Yes. That's where I'm at. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyhow, I don't want to see our starters. I don't want to repeat of Tillman.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
In that game last year that was playing a nobody, he got roughed up in the corner of the end zone.
Yep.
He was. You could tell that he was hurt. I'm screaming at the TV, like they're going to hear me. I mean, like they're going to hear me.
Yeah, but still.
Get him out, and put him right back in, and didn't need him back in there, and he was out for the season.
Yep. So
I don't want to see that. I mean, Brew McCoy is different receiver.
He is. He's tough.
He reminds me so much of somebody else wore 15.
Yeah, I agree with that. The dog. And so Brew, you wrote down your notes. Brew needs to be out and on the bench as early as possible. Maybe not even play. Who knows? But I almost think you just don't risk it because number 3 on your team on our list is Florida in the swamp.
Right.
Oh, talk to me, buddy. Just tell me what you think.
I'm seeing that it ain't all peaches and cream down there in the swamp.
So tell me what you're seeing. Like, I want you to help me here because I'm suffering from battered Vol syndrome when it comes to this Florida. Even though we've beat them last year, this is the swamp. So talk to me.
Well, a lot of the Florida YouTubers,
Okay,
the ones that's sports
related,
yeah.
right?
So you get a chance to go by being on YouTube. You go and
You
pull
go
up and look at other. Well, they're predicting, some of them predicting that their head coach is going to be fired in mid-season or earlier season. They're predicting a three win season.
3-win season. That would be an utter collapse.
So
there's no way they're gonna. There's no way.
Well,
but if I hope it happens. I just it's hard for me to see Florida that way because even in their worst years, they still won the East a few times. Remember when they had Shark Humper and all that? You know, they still won the East a few times. So it's just hard for me to buy that. But if y'all say so. So what's your prediction in the swamp?
you predict first.
I'm not going to pick Tennessee to win in Florida until I see it. It's a very small L, and I'm talking just
Lowercase?
lowercase L.
Lowercase L.
I'm picking an L.
Okay.
I know it.
You want me a lowercase L? Okay. I'm going to put a lowercase W.
Lowercase W. Okay, so you're picking a W. All right.
A lowercase.
Lowercase W because
It's a W.
It's in the swamp. So, all right. Next one on the list is UTSA. I think that was it Utah State or something like that. I'm not sure.
I really don't know.
It's so insignificant. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's a big W. Period. End of sentence.
I'm going
Damn.
to make it big a W as I can get it.
Big a W as we can get it.
Right.
The next one on the list.
Let's back up before you get here. Now, this gives us an opportunity in this game right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we get into the meat
and potatoes of it.
Of the schedule. If we have any starters that's not producing at a starter level. Okay?
We need to know. We're going to know by then.
You know, I don't care where it's at. Receiving core, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, where, safeties, corners, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Not speaking of any particular one.
Any particular person in mind.
Place kicker, field goal kickers, whatever.
Right.
This right here is scrimmage time.
Right.
So then you get to go in, and even if somebody's not doing,
right,
and I feel like Heupel's type coach would do. I mean, I know Spurrier would.
Right.
And I feel I think our coach is very similar to Spurrier in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody could lose their starting job
if they're not producing, if they're not doing what we need to do.
On that game to see how this worked.
Right. I agree.
Because this gives you a big capital W, but it is a game to build depth and push a starter back into playing like a starter.
I understand that.
Because we're going into the next one. Is my opinion, is the game beat them by 60.
Yeah. Because the next game is those Gamecocks.
That's right. I
want Spencer Rattler bad.
Foghorn, Leghorn.
Yes.
When the hound just reached up and grabbed me, knock the feathers out. I want feathers, boy.
I'm right there with
big
you.
Big W, big W.
That's what I need. I need that out of South Carolina. I cannot stand their coach. I think he's a goofball. I think he's not very good. I just don't like him. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just don't like him. So I really want that game, and that's the game that Hooker got hurt on. That's the game. I don't know what happened chemistry-wise, but Tennessee just got their butts handed to them, and I want that game back so bad. So I'm picking a big W on that. And if it's not a big W, I'm a little worried for the season because we'll see. But I'm picking a big W on that one because the next game now you're getting into the meat and potatoes big time. So the next game is Texas A&M. That is a huge unknown for them. They could be, Texas A&M could be really, really good or really, really bad. They've got a new offensive coordinator in Patino. Is that right? That's right. His name?
I believe you're right. And see, Jimbo's always been offensive, and I just don't see Jimbo. He's so controlling. Mm-hmm. I don't see him turning loose. And both of them's A personalities.
Right. Absolutely.
And when you got two A personalities, they can
butt heads quite a bit. Yeah. No, I get that. I don't know. I'm just telling you, it's either going to melt down in Texas A&M or it's going to be fire, as in good fire. I'm telling you, Texas A&M, that's a big unknown for me. I'm picking a W, but that's going to be like my biggest question mark on this schedule is that Texas A&M game. Because if you beat that, we'll see what happens in Florida, but like it's such a fork in the road. But I'm picking a W for Texas A&M.
Anytime we're playing at home,
mm-hmm.
then we need to let people know it's our house.
I agree.
So I don't care whom comes in to our house. Then you let them limp. They might come in running with a limp home.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna limp. You might come in, and you're gonna limp home. That's right.
I get what you're saying.
W for me.
W for you. So a W for Steve.
Okay, where am I at right now?
The next one after Texas.
We're 6-0 right now.
You're 6-0, and I've got us 5-1.
Okay.
The next game on the schedule, number 7, the battle for Dixieland Delight. Dixieland Delight on the line. So, by the way, how dumb do you have to be as a Bammer to still like that song, to still sing a stinking song about East Tennessee? And to say that's your song. I'm sorry. They just ain't smart, are they?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I'm gonna go history on this thing.
Okay.
The Alabama, Tennessee has always been streaks.
Mm-hmm.
We would win X number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row,
mm-hmm.
and they turn around and do the same thing. We started a streak, and I think we'll still continue on the streak. So we're going to go in and get a W.
Get a W.
It might be a lowercase W, but we're going to get in the W.
I'm going to tell you, last year's game was the best college football game I've ever watched. And I got to spend it with my dad, talking to him. I loved it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bryce Young ain't coming right back on that field and trying to score 49 points. He's gone. He's in the NFL. Tennessee, big W in that game.
Exactly
We're whipping that. We're whipping them, and we're going to do it down in Alabama. And those Bammers are just going to cry in their trailers.
Well, I'll tell you another thing here. They say Saban's going back to old school, old ways.
Mm-hmm.
His defense and his offense. The old ways couldn't stop a mobile quarterback.
Nope, they couldn't. The mobile quarterback makes every man have to play their thing, and if he makes one man miss, it's done. It's over.
So if you want to go back to the old ways, let me tell you something. You ain't stopped.
A mobile quarterback.
No, you ain't.
Nope. No,
you ain't.
Exactly. And then the next one on the list is Bless Their Heart, Kentucky's.
Bless their heart.
Lord.
See, we're going to go, and that's another thing. I mean, that's what a lot of people are pointing on the Food City on it and all that. We go up there and play Kroger in Kroger Field.
Mm-hmm.
We could bring out the grills from Arby's and turn it into Aldi's and turn it into a grill to cook on. You ever see that?
I do. I remember seeing that. Oh my gosh.
Everybody in the parking lot cooking off the grill cart.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, that's a W.
That's a W and a half,
Yeah.
ain't it?
They're probably giving out coupons. Coupons.
The coupons to the coupons to Kroger City Field.
That's right.
I'm they had their best team. They had their best team, and I don't know how many years they had their all pro quarterback and all whatever. And I remember hearing he was all that in a bag of chips. And guess what? We with our worst defense I think we've ever had, just absolutely came alive and just ate his lunch.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big W, no question about it. I'm sorry, Kentucky is not good.
Mm-mm.
There you go. Is that a W for you as well?
Oh yeah, that's a W.
Absolutely. UConn is the next. This you had put down Pat's Revenge.
You know what? I'm gonna ask this and put it out there and get it started. I think on that UConn,
Mm-hmm.
we ought to take and be powder blue and orange checkerboard.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Well, I think the problem Pat's had with UConn that we need to step up and blister them
And blister.
and let them know why.
Let them know why.
I'm on a W.
You want? Oh yeah, we're gonna get a crazy W.
Yeah,
I'm a W on that one. I haven't decided where I feel it, but I understand where you're coming from. Now Missouri, Missouri is the next one on the schedule after that. I'm telling you, man, that guy over there cannot keep us out of his mouth.
No.
How do you lose by 60 points? Get 60 points scored on you and still talk trash about Tennessee? He's about as dumb as Bammers.
Well, the seniors, football players, they get to go out there in the end zone and get them a rock.
Mm-hmm.
You see them big rocks in the end zone,
Right.
on the hill.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna have them kicking rocks off.
That's right. We're going to have them kicking rocks.
No, they're gonna be wanting to get under rocks.
Exactly.
We're gonna W.
Yeah, big W for me too. Big W for me too. All right. Next one is Georgia. Talk to me about Georgia. It's over here. It's not between the hedges. We lost last year. They've got the best. They've got the best team on paper again. I don't know who their quarterback is. We'll see if he's going to be any good. But Stetson Bennett's not coming out. Stetson Bennett is not coming out, and I don't know, man. What's your thoughts on this Georgia game?
Reason I said we need to keep Brew healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Those big receivers, we've got to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
We've got to be hitting on all cylinders. So we're going down between the hedges.
Yep.
And if you look at history, Tennessee and Georgia, we've owned them
Pretty good.
very good. And even Butch beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But he beat them because he had a more physical receiver.
That's right. That's right.
And so, that being said, I'm going to put a W.
You're putting another W. Now, again, with this, the way Georgia is, I'm not going to pick Tennessee to beat them until they beat them. So I'm going to put a small L. I'm not saying we're getting beat by 14-20. I think until Joe shows me he can beat the top tier teams, I'm just not there yet. But that's a small W. So that's the second loss on there.
I'm all in on Joe. I've showed you why I felt what I felt.
Right.
And where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm saying all this, I know that all that is going to come about. My concern would be him getting injured. But now, what I know, what I heard,
Mm-hmm.
that Nico could step in. He felt you don't say that unless you believe it.
Right. You don't say it unless you believe. Right.
You don't put that out there. You don't add to that.
Right. Exactly.
And that being said, I look back when Ohio State, they won their national championship,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to use 3 different quarterbacks, and those 3 different quarterbacks was talked of Heisman Trophy. it went even to the point when the other one come back the next year. They had two of them. One of them went to receiver, so he could start.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I think I do.
Okay. That being said, you've got to have depth at quarterback.
And we've got it.
And good.
We've got it. And I'll be honest with you, that little third string quarterback they have, he ain't nothing to sneeze at either.
I mean, I really I felt really good about him.
Right. I feel very good about our quarterback situation. Better than I've ever felt. And you know, kind of shifting gears for a second, you know who else can throw the ball?
Hey, you
had talked about that on our first thing, and you were like, well, that punter. I'm like, oh, come on, Steve, talk about this punter. This punter may be one of the most athletic guys on the team.
Yeah, I like Apple. He must be, even one of them guys you'd like to sit down and eat wings with.
Yeah, because he'll give it to you. He'll give it to you. What'd he say? He said that
Jackson.
Jackson said he had the third best arm on the team, and Apple said he'll lie to you, which means they've got good chemistry. They've got this, and that's what you want on a football team. You don't want everything to be all business. You want to give it to each other. It's a group of men, all that stuff. So.
Bandy boys. Vanderbilt.
This is a joke. This is Vanderbilt's a joke. Can we say that? There's no reason they should be in the SEC. This is a joke. It's a joke. This is a chill game before we figure out where we want to go bowling, where we want to go. All this. Beat them by 60 and call it a day and own Nashville again.
I believe we get Tony's baseball boys to dress out and beat them.
Oh, yes. Anyway. W. All right. So, with that said.
I wish they had big orange.
Oh, we're going to spray paint these big orange because you got it. So, Tman, Turkey Man's predicting 12-0. 12-0 for us. I've got us at 10-2. We'll see what happens. Guys, biggest things for us was Milton has a short leash, but Nico could start tomorrow, so I feel really great at quarterback. But man, that's our way too early season predictors. Again, next week we've got Thursday. We have the actual Virginia game. We'll try to talk about it on Friday.
Another prediction. Milton will make the trip to New York.
If Milton does what he's supposed to do, he will make the trip to New York. Absolutely.
Hinton would have made the trip last year if they had more, but because
that South Carolina game. I'm telling you, that's the truth. But on Friday, we've got dove season on Friday the 1st. I just confirmed that I've got Saturday off, so we need to do something on Saturday.
Okay.
Me and my buddy Joe and you. I would love to have all three of us together doing something. But so we might not do an off the tailgate Friday because I've got bird hunting with him on Saturday or on Friday. But we'll meet Saturday. We'll figure something out. But we will get a off the tailgate either Friday or Saturday.
Well,
that's a good mid-morning. Ooh, you never know.
Because it's open, ain't
it? It's open on the 1st.
Yeah. So that next Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll figure something out there.
No, it's weak. It's weak, bro.
But we'll figure it out. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, for Turkey Man, this is Tcarp signing out.
Guys, before I go. We're really getting a lot of people the viewer stuff.
We are. We got
and I know that I'm asking a lot. Just subscribe, please.
Rob,
please help us. We need, I know if I put something out and said I really need help and prayers or whatever, I would get a lot of support. We just need some subscribers and we need some likes.
Yeah.
Because that'll allow us to eventually get where we want to get to help pay for stuff we're trying to do.
Exactly.
And so
all this equipment that we're using, it ain't free and it ain't cheap.
No, it ain't. And we take time to do this. Because I really and truly want to bring a direction different than others. And actually from a fan's perspective.
First tip.
And we love you guys. God bless you.
Bye, y'all.